These are the 2014 church choir.
It's a great honor and a pleasure to present to you My God.
Yeah. So before I begin, I'd like to thank Sister Edie and the rest of the Education Committee, as well as Pastor Porter, for allowing me to be here today. Today's theme, if you know, is when we're done our best, God will do the rest. So I'm going to ask the question, what limits us from doing our best? My answer is fear. In our lives, we've all faced fear. As we graduate, we fear the next step of our lives. We fear the unknown, we fear others, and we fear ourselves. I want to share with you a poem by Marian Williamson titled Our Deepest Fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people feel insecure about you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God within. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. The biggest message I received from Williamson's poem is that we often are our biggest obstacle. Instead of fighting and challenging ourselves to do our best, we often choose practicality. What we base our dreams on, what we really want, seems so far to reach and ridiculous that we don't take that leap of faith. We don't go that extra mile, and we don't face the struggle. What we need to do is try our best, give our best, and God will carry us through the rest. You're all here today, graduates, because of the hard work that you have displayed. The late nights of studying, the late nights and the extra time and spent in extra help. Each of us have similar paths, but we are all bringing a uniqueness to this room. Each and every one has a specific light that needs to shine. So while others are trying to dim or turn off your light, you must not fear the strength that you have within. Your very DNA is filled with tools of survival, courage, self-determination, and liberating minds. Look at what your siblings, parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and your ancestors have done. Look at the path that was laid for you to be here at this very moment. And to have the lights that each and every one of you have inside of you to shine. Thank them. Take the time to build on their successes and learn from their challenges. Take every piece of what makes you you and put your best foot forward. Take what you've learned in your certificate, diploma, or degree and show the world the best that you can be. We have all had goals in our lives for what we want to do when we grow up. Mine first was to graduate from high school. Although that might seem pretty small now, it was a fear that I had in junior high. Unlike the poem, I feared my own success. Although undiagnosed, I have test anxiety. So no matter how much I studied or how hard I was prepared, tests were a huge struggle for me. But I did my best. I learned to create songs or acronyms to help memorize important content to get through. One of my goals in high school was to go to university and graduate debt-free. So I saved like crazy the money I made babysitting or working at the Boys I went through the booklet and highlighted the ones that I thought I was qualified for, and the ones that I thought I could be qualified for with the right adjustments. I learned very quickly that I needed to get more involved. I was already playing basketball, volleyball, and running track, and I was also volunteering here at the BYF, but I thought that that wasn't enough. So I joined student council and started refereeing basketball. This allowed me to have a few more things to add to my resume. So I applied for every scholarship that I could and received enough money to pay for my tuition, transportation, and living expenses. During my degree at Dow, I had a lot of late nights in the library, either studying or tutoring. I often was at the library with my current husband from open to close, taking breaks only to eat or to go to class. Most of our dates were held on the 4th floor of the Killam, some of you may know, or in the Tupper Library. The days and nights were long, but I kept the voice of my parents in the back of my head. All I asked you to do is your best. I knew that as long as I worked as hard as I could, I would succeed. God would reward me for my efforts. Having the support of loved ones helped push me through, and having faith in God allowed me to keep going when I wanted to give up. During my degree at St. X, I met and began tutoring a woman, a 56-year-old woman. We were each other's blessings from God. She ran her own preschool for years. And all of her life, she wanted to become a teacher. She was told that she was never going to be able to do that. She was dyslexic, which means that when she was reading, letters or words would literally fall off the page. Because of her learning disability, she believed that others said about her. And it wasn't until she had the courage to apply for a bachelor's of education and was accepted that she realized that what they were saying was untrue. Although I helped her with education, she helped me with spirituality. Working together, I learned patience, how to learn, how to teach, and how to educate. Seeing the world through her eyes, seeing someone that had her light turned out, shine so bright, gave me the confidence to succeed. She was liberated from her own fears, thus allowing me to do the same. With the challenges that she faced, and seeing her best day, giving her best daily, I realized that I could also do more. So after teaching for a year, the opportunity for me to do my master's came up. I hesitated about applying, but with some push from family and my husband, I applied. I had an interview, but I didn't think I was well prepared for it, but I was accepted. As usual, as most of you will feel next year, when you start a new program, it's terrifying, and you have a lot of doubts. I myself thought, was this the right time for me to do this? Should I have waited for later in my career to make this challenge, to take on this new challenge? And that was the moment when I realized that I was my biggest fear. As a child of God, I was not allowing myself to be talented, fabulous, and I needed to liberate myself. So as I gave the valedictorian address to my peers and family, I realized that I stopped fearing myself, my strength, and did my best. As I conclude today, I want you to think about today's theme, graduates. Think about if you are doing your best, and think about those around you that have put their faith in God to overcome challenges in their lives. How are you going to move forward? What are you going to do to challenge your fears and obtain your goals? Thank you.
Wonderful message, Melina. Thank you very much. There's enough in that short message to last a long time. You mentioned that our DNA enables us to do the things we need to do. I love the theme of the today. When you do your best, God does the rest. I want to advise the graduates here today that there's nothing you really can't do if you want to do it. Doors are open today that weren't open 20, 30, 40 years ago. Many of us saw the closed doors. We have an opportunity to walk through doors. I remember when I went to a university guidance counselor back in the early days. To see what I was coming from, they told me I was mechanically inclined to go to be an auto mechanic. University was not my territory. So I became an auto mechanic. I took some university courses and found a piece of cake that was left up. But the doors weren't open, but we opened doors from then to now. So there's really nothing that should hold you back except yourself. You make up your mind that you can do, and you will do. Dream big and achieve bigger. Reach for the stars. You'll find something high. So keep in mind that do your best, because when you do your best, God will always do the rest.